Hey, what's going on, guys? The Horror Man back on the 31 Days of Horror with my review of OLLE HEXE. Welcome back to the 31 Days of Horror, or 31 Days of Halloween, with a movie that doesn't actually take place on Halloween, but feels like it should. OLLE HEXE, or OLLE Witch in its English translation, is a 1991 German film. I've had this tape for quite a while, and have been waiting for the right opportunity to review it. It's a family-friendly horror film. Gateway horror. Some may argue that it's dark fantasy, but I'd say it's nightmare fuel. Despite not actually being set on Halloween, it reminds me of a movie that would have aired on TV around Halloween, back in the 90s, if it weren't a German film. It absolutely captures that 90s Halloween special atmosphere. I mean, this cover of the VHS alone screams Halloween to me. The movie follows young Paul, who just moved into a high-rise apartment building with his mother. It is there where he meets a girl around his age named Anna. The two don't completely hit it off at first. In fact, their first interaction features them insulting each other. Their second encounter is even worse, and an embarrassing experience for Paul. Then, when they cross paths on the elevator, they begin bickering again. Suddenly, the elevator heads down, below the first floor, below the lower level, and it keeps on going. They arrive at the world of the Old Witch. Prior to this, she had been stalking them in the high-rise. I have to say, those moments were genuinely creepy. Now, in her land, which looks more like a landfill, Paul and Anna must try to find their way home. Along the way, they meet a blind horse that talks, an old, less than courageous knight who seeks revenge, and a talking alarm clock who provides some comic relief to the film. Meanwhile, the Old Witch is in a battle against time. She intends on luring Paul and Anna to her so she can steal their youth. Now, the bickering children and their new companions must help each other to survive. Well, guys, this was awesome. First of all, I love the landscape of the Old Witch's world. I especially love her lair. This movie sort of reminded me of The Never-Ending Story. I also got the same vibe I get from watching The Perils of Punky, that two-part Punky Brewster episode I covered during TV Scaries. Old Witch is a family-friendly fright fest. I like the look of the Old Witch herself, and the creature effects were pretty cool. The climax of the film, in particular, features a memorable monster. But going back to the beginning, the first act of the movie really hooked me in. I really liked the high-rise setting, and I love the stalking scenes of the Old Witch appearing behind different objects, watching Paul and Anna. All of that really set the tone. I will say this. If Jason owned this movie, and I know he currently doesn't, this would be a prime example of a controversial view. There are certain things that happen in Old Witch that surely wouldn't fly today. I honestly probably wouldn't have thought much about them back then in the early 90s, but it's a different time now, unfortunately. There is one scene, though, that would have been questionable even back then, hence why this would be a great controversial view. Of course, with no physical media release in the US, it's a rare one, so chances are we'll never get to do it. Which is why I'm glad I at least got to review it now for the 31 days. Old Witch was a lot of fun, and definitely gave me that classic Halloween feel. It's a non-Halloween film that should be a Halloween movie. Have you seen it? Probably not, but if so, what do you think of it? Comment below and let me know. Check back soon as I continue to count down the 31 days of horror as Halloween approaches. Until then, thanks for watching, guys. Hit that thumbs up and, be kind, subscribe.